Hello there. Uh, hello there, Site 42 staff. This is Dr. Theron Sherman, and we are keeping the streak alive. Even if for a little bit, we are doing office hours today because we've been doing it for something like 20 days, and I'm not breaking the streak just because my body is trying to kill me. I don't know what I ate. I don't know what SCP did this to me, but I have not been doing well today. And so I've mostly tried to sleep through it and weather the storm. But we're still technically in the 24-hour period of May the 5th. So I'm here, you're here, and now I'm going to answer your SCP questions because I am a genius at all things SCP Foundation, and you are here for knowledge, and I am here to educate. Because if I don't do it, who's gonna? Steve? Steve, do you want to teach them? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yes, also I have a wide variety of bathrobes for comfort and softness. And this is the Goku robe. It is the fashion choice I felt so clearly illuminated. What's the name of that thing I'm trying to say? Yeah, it's the, it's the mood of getting stronger. It's the mood of getting stronger. That's what Goku's here to help us with today. You know what, Jonathan? If we had those sensu beans, I think it would be a very useful thing at this moment. But all we have is a CP500, and they won't give me a capsule for this. They basically just said walk it off, which is fair. I say it all to you guys too. The director. Good to see you in the chat, and thank you for being a member. Same to you, Amber and Yaslay, and many people I've seen going by while I was explaining what is happening. Oh my gosh, I think you can hear my voice. Scratchy. But that's okay. Also, I'm feeling a little feverish, so maybe the robe is not necessary. Leah, have a good night's sleep. I will be doing the same after we stream. Jonathan Turner, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some soup on your way past the commissary. I know I will. No, I did not eat flamingo soup. That is not what I had at the commissary yesterday. No, I did not get demoted Infinite 1042, although I like the last two numbers of your channel. No, these are my pajamas. This is a sick pajama stream. Hey, Anson, thank you for being a member, and I'm glad the notification worked. I've heard a lot of people saying that the notifications haven't been getting to them, so that's nice. The director, the Children of the Scarlet King, is a cult that worships the Scarlet King. Bunch of douchebags, if you ask me. They're always sacrificing virgins for this and that. It's altogether rude. Adam, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being the first donation. Make sure to grab yourself some chicken wings on your way past the commissary. What happened to Containment X? I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. If you're talking about the X is not an SCP series, I'm still working on the first script to bring that around. So, we will, we're still working on that. It's a little hard to, write scripts when you are hugging a porcelain throne. Raymond, thank you for being a member. Good to see you. Good evening and good night. And take Raymond's advice. He's a good gamer with easy ideas, such as liking the stream. Lewis, I only know tangential knowledge of the boiled one. I've heard tell of some sort of, I believe it's an analog horror situation, maybe? Some sort of anomalous thing to look into. There's always another anomaly. It would be nice if we could have a little peace and quiet for once. Very strange that I can't like this donation. That's kind of weird. Gooey Boy, I have heard of the Godzilla Man in a Suit analog horror as well. Jeremiah, I'm going to suggest to you that the scariest SCP of all is probably 2718. I can't think of a lot of anomalies that shake me as much as that one does. Kratis, Dr. Sullenberg here. How's your leg doing, along with whatever happened to you? Well, I had an appointment with medical and the physical therapy team on Monday of last week to talk about the Achilles tendon issue, and we have arranged for an MRI, which will be coming forth in the next 3 weeks, and so then we'll be able to get more intel. Unfortunately, it turns out that Foundation Medical is still run in the same vein as the American healthcare system. So I don't know if you've ever had an MRI, but the copays are not pretty for that big ass machine. So I've got a couple weeks to scrape together some funds, maybe to pull an extra couple shifts in the commissary to pull that off. But we'll make something happen. We have the power of all of the Jesus SCPs on our side. If there were a possibility that 999 became anything other than a safe class, such as Euclid or Keter, why do you think that'd be? I believe the only way 999 could be unsafe is either A, it decides, it grows enough of an intelligence over time that it decides it wants to escape. Because right now, it's safe, it's easily contained. But if the anomaly were to decide it wanted to leave, it is slime. It could, like, go under doors. So we'd have to seal the containment cell more thoroughly. That would probably bump it up to a Euclid. Also, it could just digivolve in some way. A lot of people have faith in this idea that 999 is going to help us defeat the Scarlet King when it's older. And if it gets that kind of level upping, then obviously its form is going to change, and that may require more difficult containment procedures. That is 2 scenarios for what I think. Nugget, I am going to be telling you my favorite SCPs at the end of the stream, which honestly will probably be in like 20 minutes. I am not running at full power today, but we didn't miss a day. The streak continues. Cerberus, I am almost alive after today. I think sleeping through the night might bring me back to life, but we'll find out how I'm feeling tomorrow. If 018 was put into a hydraulic press, how would it react? Interesting desk. I will keep track of that. That's new. Huh. So if I go to 018, we know it's a rubber ball. Now, considering that, the only question is, can it be squashed or can it not be squashed? Because if it can be destroyed, then it will simply be broken. But if the more likely scenario is that it's indestructible in a manner, and I believe that that means it will eventually fall out of the hydraulic press, causing it to start its infinite motion problem. Bounce with extreme height. Dangerous projectile. My thought is because it can survive the high speeds at which it's bouncing at such great momentums, it is probably the type of indestructible that a hydraulic press probably couldn't do the job. Cutie say, I am alive, despite what the bad food from the commissary did. Coming back to the chat. If you could bring one SCP to life, what would that be? Well, whole dude, I mean, obviously there are a lot of SCPs that are currently alive, and so we're dealing with them already. But let's say, for the sake of a hypothetical, if I lived in a universe that did not have SCPs, but I could take one with me to have access to that SCP, then I believe in a world where it was the only SCP, what would I bring with me? I would imagine I'd want something useful. Maybe something that could be used for financial gain to set myself up for a decent life. Something that could help people. There's just so many SCPs to think of. You know that. I believe what I would do is I would find one of the anomalies that produces infinite food. Not 3307. That one's terrible. We're not using that one. But there we go, Desk. That's a great idea. Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting phallus. Yes. That would give a very useful everything. And so that would solve all the problems right there. So yes, SCP-3313 is the answer. If I could have one SCP, then that would be it. Yes, Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting Poor Richard. I just need a bit of clarity to this, but is it the pataphysics department that handles reality-bending anomalies, or is it another department? Well, Superior Chief, trademark, pataphysics only deals with the type of reality that is dealing with narrative layers. So, the narrative layers of the fictional characters below us, and the narrative layers of the fictional, or the authorial characters, entities above us. So within our narrative level, there's also a multiverse of different universes to deal with. That is what the Reality Mechanics Division and the Department of Unreality deal with. They handle reality within our narrative layer. But then to go to the narrative layer above or below is pataphysics. And then Nathan, oops. Greetings, I do hope everything is faring well these days. First time catching you live. Well, welcome to your first live. It's a little bit of a low energy one, but the streak is safe, so consider yourself part of the process there. Gotta ask, what are the standard amnestics used to deal with someone who saw something they shouldn't have? Well, if you go to the SCP database and you type in amnestic guide, then you're going to find the updated amnestics guide. And the updated amnestics guide gives you the classifications for most of the amnestics as well as nestics that we use at the Foundation. So for someone who is recently experienced an anomaly and we need them to forget they did, the standard issue is going to be the Class A General Retrograde Amnestics. It causes people to forget very specific and or recent memories. Meaning, it's like basically the chemical equivalent of the Men in Black's neuralizer. And, you know, it's actually pretty convenient that they can do it with the whole flashy thing, and we're here having to do it with an injection. It's a lot more difficult, but it gets the job done. The aerosolized amnestics are a bit easier, if not a little sticky. Silken Emperor, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of pigs in a blanket on your way past the commissary. You get it? Because I'm a jailer who you could liken to a cop, and I am also wearing a robe, which is basically just a blanket you can wear. That you get me. You get me. It's a hilarious joke. Explaining it only made it funnier. Have you thought about making a Discord channel for us to vote on topics we want you to watch/play? So I have not thought about that. The Site 42 Discord server is available for those with the wiles to find it. It is not exceptionally active because it was made for me by a fan about 10 years ago. And since then, life has gotten extremely busy trying to keep things going. So I do not visit the Discord server as much as I would like. But if you are above the age of 18, because the SCP Foundation is an adults fandom, it's a writing community with a lot of adult themes. So the Discord channel specifically is only for 18 and up, just to avoid any problems with minors encountering mature themes. If you fit that bill and can find the link, you can join it. There is not a specific channel for topic requests, but hey, maybe there could be. Maybe that's something to bring up and I can go back and refer to it, and that would be a reason for me to go check out the server again. All right, keep the chat rolling. I've seen you trying to catch Spider-Man. Why you specifically? Also, since he's an internationally known superhero, wouldn't containing him be pointless? Capturing him would only attract attention. So, Phantom Reactor, I get where you're coming from. Now, it's just a project I took a particular hobby in, and so I decided that anomaly would be something I would like to handle myself. And, yes, internationally known superhero, sure, but secret identity, all that stuff, coming and going and disappearing as please. If one day Spider-Man just stops showing up, who's going to complain about it? Who's going to know? Who's going to know who to ask questions about? The answer is nobody. And so I am not worried about anybody chasing down a missing Spider-Man. They will simply move on with their lives. Forget he ever existed. Dr. Sullenberg, wishing you good health and a quick recovery. And most of all, no long-lasting, slowly detrimental side effects in the future. Oh, yeah. For this digestive bug, I hope that figures soon. I could use a little more of the food I'm eating to stay inside of me. And for my ankle, that's the one I'm really worried about, because I've heard of people injuring their ankle and never being able to walk again, blah, blah, blah. And I would very much like to be able to walk again. It would be nice. Get back to the gym, go running. Raymond, do you think Superman / Clark Kent's glasses are an anomalous object? I do not. They literally did a promotional event for one of the Snyderverse Superman movies where they left Henry Cavill in the middle of Times Square wearing glasses and no one recognized him. So people are just that unobservant. I mean, I'm not complaining. It makes our lives a lot easier at the foundation when people just look past things that don't fit their cognitive biases. We save a lot of money on amnestics that way, to be sure. Oh, Dr. Mann, you're sick too? Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Son of a gun. I hope it's something less bad than whatever I ate at the commissary. You could always work with the Church of the Broken God and get a robot leg. I don't trust those zealots as far as I can throw them. And I can't throw them very far because they're giant hunks of metal, so they're kind of heavy. What's the longest time you've ever worked on an SCP article? I believe the longest time I ever worked on an SCP article was the tale, Ignorance is Bliss. Traditionally, I am a short article preferrer, and so I write shorter articles. I like reading shorter articles. But the Ignorance is Bliss was for a contest, and we were getting dramatic with it was a team contest, and so I needed to write something that measured up toward what the other members of the team were doing. And so that tale, I gave it a lot more length and time to cook. And even then, I only think I was working on that for a week or two. Most of the time when I'm writing an SCP, if it takes longer than a night, I get bored and I move on. But I have usually, I think, an average of 2 to 3 days of writing an article. But, you know, I'm a bad example. Usually people take more time and effort. I'm just the short guy. Aesthetic Zone, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some gray stuff on your way past the commissary. I hear it's delicious. 073 versus 096. Well, I think that's pretty straightforward. 073 deflects any damage put upon it. And so, essentially, 096 would end up fighting itself. And eventually, it would either destroy itself or it would give up, like it did against 682. That's not too far-fetched. Vinder, the short guy. Nah, you made me like SCP again. Very proud to have done that. People should enjoy SCP. There's so much to offer in that community. So many stories. It's a good time. So I'm glad I could bring you into it in a way that you enjoyed it. Dihydrogen monoxide. Make sure to grab yourself a green Gatorade, the best flavor of Gatorade, on your way past the commissary. It's my magic potion to drink when I'm sick like today. Just chug green Gatorade. It's good for your health. Hashtag not sponsored. Dihydrogen monoxide asked, could 096 terminate 4666? So, there's a bug in my office. I'm about to have a Walter White moment. It's gone for now. What was I saying? 096V4666. We have not had the opportunity to test 4666's durability. The Yule Man is extremely evasive. Therefore, we have no idea what its capabilities are. We do know that it can teleport. And so just based on that alone, I do believe it would be able to successfully evade 096 for a very long time. And also that would mean that as it teleported around the world, 096 would continue to chase it, which means that more people who were in the path would end up seeing 096's face and get murked en route to the Yule Man. So I believe that Yule Man is able to evade. Meanwhile, 096 is just stuck eternally chasing it. Aesthetic Zone, thank you for donating again. I was a Gravity Falls kid growing up, so being into SCP was a canon event for me. Very understandable, definitely. What was I thinking to go jump off that? Yeah, just like me being into SCP has made me enjoy things like Cabin in the Woods or Control a lot because of their likeness and stuff like that. I'm still waiting to get into Warehouse 13 because that's a very long show, but it's very SCP-like from the first episode, so I'm interested. Doctor, how many D-Class have escaped from your site? To my knowledge, only one. Yeah. Jacob had this intense plan that involved bribing the commissary guards who dropped off their lunch and getting underneath a rolling food tray. And then there's a little bit in the middle what we're not sure about. That's the part that we need to figure out so that we can stop this from happening in the future. But then there was a whole disguise thing. Had several friends on the inside. That's the only way Jacob could have pulled that off. And honestly, at that point, more power to him. We haven't been able to find him since. Turns out when you've got friends at that many levels of the Foundation, they disappear you. It was very frustrating to explain to the overseers how we let that happen. But only happened the once. Only happened the once. And they said, it better only happen the once. Ooh. When's the face reveal of SCP-096? Mostly bad. Mostly bad. The artistic images are plastered on the SkipNet database. You can see them anytime you want. There's so many copies and duplicates. We all know what 096 looks like. It's just the fact that we're not going to look at the actual picture because we don't want to die. Heather stumbled in with coffee and sunglasses. Honestly, that was me the day after the 420-J party we had. And I tell you what, this is worse than that. Repent, Judgment Day is coming. Jesus is the only way to heaven. Which Jesus? Do I need to accept the salvation of Cheddar from Jesus, SCP-6542? Or do I need to go visit Jesus Land by being vored by Vor Jesus, SCP-5991? There are too many Jesuses for you weird religious people to come preach about because you don't even know which Jesus you believe in. Get educated. Come on. I love doing that. It's funny to me, and so I enjoy it. How many entities have you seen, quote, hitting the griddy? Well, I know that 5031 does make up a mean set of pancakes when it works the griddle. So there's that. And then a couple of the humanoid anomalies like to play football during their yard time. And so, they hit the gridiron that way. So I'd say about 5 or 6, give or take, on each team. So that'll be around 12 plus 5031. That's 13. 13 hitting different variations of the griddy. Wait till you actually work for the Foundation. I am the site director of Site 42. So, yes, I work for the Foundation. Even on sick days, apparently. Justin, they have yard time? If they have good behavior, they unlock perks that make their containment less unpleasant. And so one of them is yard time. Obviously, if it's an anomaly that can phase through walls, they can't go far from the reality anchor. And if they can fly or anything like that, then yard time is not a benefit that we would give them because they could easily breach containment. But for the ones that can be contained with yard time, they can have yard time. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. Could 096's screams be used to recontain 106? So thing one is that we would have to then activate 096, which is a harder to contain threat than 106. So we're not using 096's live screams for that. And secondarily, I don't know how Radical Larry knows, but whenever we tried to use recorded screams, it could always tell. And so we couldn't record 096's screams during a other breach event and then use them because it could tell it's a recording. So unfortunately, none of those are going to work. I like the way you're thinking, though. You're getting creative. Some of these ideas are going to work, and you're going to be a great containment specialist when you get there. Raymond, which SCP do you believe is the best chef? Obviously, it's 5031. No question. You got to go read SCP-5031. That is a wonderful good boy of an anomaly. No, I'm not a D-class. This is my comfortable bathrobe, which I'm wearing as a blanket since I am sick today. For someone who asks, why am I mostly alive / not dead? It's because I am sick today, which is why we have also reached the end of today's stream, so I can go back to bed. I hope you have enjoyed the answers of my very wizened containment specialist mind, and they have educated you in the greater workings of the SCP Foundation, so you too can be the best Foundation staff that you can be. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. Or no, thank you for your first donation of the day. Grab yourself some Dr. Pepper jelly beans on your way past the commissary. I'm stuck watching site security cams on night shift for the next few nights and can't get my previews of 12:30. Do you want it? Oh, interesting, interesting. Could this be helpful? Honestly, yeah, I'll take that. It'll be some good sick in bed reading. Much appreciated, much obliged. Carson, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot bowl of chicken soup on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, good midnight. It's great to see you. I'm just clocking out from work now. Get yourself some Coke, the powder type, to keep yourself up. No. We do not need cocaine to heal from being ill. I need to go to bed and sleep, which I will do after I get you guys through your donations. I I greatly appreciate what seems to be you donating to keep me here. I'm going to go to bed, but I will handle these donations. Much obliged to all as I keep going down the track here. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again. You versus Spider-Man's like Wile E. Coyote versus Roadrunner, or the SCP Foundation versus 682. You know the ending, but it's funny. Please make more shorts. I would enjoy to make more 682 Spider-Man shorts. Just need to find the right cosplayer to interact with. But yes, that would be funny. I also need to get my foot back in shape because the one where I was running was really good. I want to do that again. Drab Minotaur, thank you for donating for the first time for today. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of barley on your way past the commissary. That's what Minotaurs eat, right? Somehow lock myself in 9109's containment chamber. How do I get out or survive the fight I have gotten myself into? Well, first and foremost, security is on its way. You need to let me know what universe you're in, because my universe doesn't have a 9101, so you must be beaming in from somewhere else. Our SCPs end at 8999 right now, so you're somewhere where things are worse. But, we'll get your security team en route, so just sit tight and evade. Evade, evade, evade. All right. Anson. Hooray, sick day stream was a success. Nobody died, including me. So, at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. My favorite SCPs, I do not list the ones that I wrote, because that would be cheating. Of course I like my SCPs, I wrote them. But you can read my SCPs on the SCP Wiki database on my author page, which is the Sherm's SCP author page and Site42 Hub. So you can go see all the articles I've written and or contributed to there. And while you're there, there's some support links. You can grab some merch, you can become a patron or a channel member, or a one-time donation through Ko-Fi. However you wish to support Site42, we greatly appreciate it, so we can keep doing bigger and better SCP content, contain bigger and better anomalies, and recover from any medical bills that may be incurred from injuring a tendon and needing an MRI. And so we appreciate, even if you're just watching and sharing and hitting the like button, that is good enough, and we appreciate your support. From there, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and, with a big content warning, 8980. That one's dark. Justin, thank you for your donation. First donation of the stream, I believe. Make sure to grab yourself some juicy fruit on your way past the commissary. Again, those favorite SCPs are 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and, big content warning, 8980. Be careful with that one. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed my effort here. We kept the stream alive. In case you didn't know, we have been streaming at least once a day since April 14th. So I hope that we can keep the streak going for a while, because since I've hit 1 million subs, it's starting to get warm. Since we've hit 1 million subs, I'm making sure to do these extra streams. That way I can talk to you guys directly, not just in the shorts and in the videos we make. We're a good Site42 community. As long as I can help you guys understand the Foundation and do better containment work, I feel proud of my job. Carson, thank you for donating again with the strict cause of trying to keep me up a little longer. I do appreciate the donation. Hell, it'll help with the medical bills anyways. But in the meantime, I'm going to go get some sleep. Oh, I just caught this out of my corner of my eye. Evil Greasy John, yes. You are free to use Dr. Sherman in any story or game that you wish to. SCP characters are always Creative Commons, and so you can use Dr. Sherman and it will be fine. And in fact, if you put it in a game or a story or something, and it's like completed. If a project's completed, you make some art or something, you can send it to my business email, which is in my support links. That way I can enjoy if you make Dr. Sherman art or games or stories. I'm always interested in that stuff. It's nice to spread them out a little bit. So with that, I hope you've had fun. I hope you learned something tonight. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. See you in the next video. I'm so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home, whoa. So tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home, oh.